lights on the screen, hey, it's Grant and Ryan. We bleed purple, talking hoops, never lying. Sacramento Kings, we rise and we fall. If you don't like that, then you don't know ball. Jerry sitting with the stories of the game, spilling all the truth, driving legends insane. From the Cow Palace days to Arco's roar, this town's heart beats on the hardwood floor. If you don't like that, turn away now. Kings in our blood, we rise strong and proud. Running up the score, Kings never back down. If you don't like that, this ain't your town.
You know, it's amazing that one possession can determine an entire road trip. The possession by Fox missing his shot, Sabonis with the rebound. All of a sudden, you go from a bad road trip to a great road trip. Seriously, one possession, great road trip.
Boy, were we wrong.
Yeah.
It's good to be wrong. Yes.
Yes, it is good to be wrong.
Unreal play by Domantas Sabonis. Credit to Mike Brown for drawing up a different play. They were predictable the last two possessions down the stretch, crashing on DeMar. You let Foxy isolate. And what do you say about Sabonis, Grant? That wasn't just a putback. That was incredible.
Big win, boy. What a third quarter for Sacramento after trailing by 13 at the half. They came out. That was their best quarter of the season, that
Easy.
third quarter tonight. Best quarter of the season. They were hitting on all cylinders. Miami had no answer for Sacramento in the third quarter.
Started with defense. De'Aaron had back-to-back tips, got in there, got them frustrated, and within a span of 3 or 4 minutes, Grant, Miami was on their heels, and they could get nothing going. Wow.
Let's take some phone calls. You are more than welcome to call the show. You've got the link. Ryan takes care of all of that. You know how to do it. We would love to be able to discuss this with you. But again, this goes from a bad road trip to an excellent road trip on one possession. One possession. If Sabonis does not get that rebound or misses the shot, we have a completely different tone on this postgame show.
100%. Well put to start the show off. Let's kick it off with Michael. Welcome in with Grant and Ryno.
Great win in Miami. It's rare to get it. That's only the sixth time we got it in 36 time in 36 tries. This is huge. This is a rarity. I think this is a place that it's a step in the right direction. You go in Miami, you hung around, and you played well. And you ended up winning the game. This is a good win for Sacramento.
Yeah, so of course it's a good win. It's a good win not because of what they've done in the past. It's a good win because Miami's a decent team, and it's at the end of a road trip. So it is a good win.
Spoelstra's a great coach.
Yeah.
We know.
Yep.
Yeah, Michael, to Grant's point, that's exactly what I was going to say. The Kings got their asses kicked tonight physically. I mean, that was a physical, brutal game. Some might say the refs lost control of it for a second, but the fact that you do that on a getaway game where you're on your way back home after a week and a half road trip, that's huge. I know it's one game, but that is huge for what that does for a team.
One possession makes such a big difference. It is such a big deal.
Sure. I mean, you go from this would have been a really bad trip had the Kings lost this game tonight. Would have been a bad trip. I know normally you say if you can go 500 on the road, that's good. Not when you're playing this level of competition. No, 2-2 trip would not have been good.
Grant,
Still,
if that
great.
shot,
I love it.
If that shot doesn't go down by Sabonis, I have on my notes circled Malik Monk quit on defending that 3-pointer that went in by Terry Rozier, and that would have been the narrative coming back home to Sacramento.
The game of the Sacramento Kings versus Miami this year kind of reminded me of 2017 and 18. You hung around, and you come out and win, steal the game in Miami.
Yeah.
Thank you, buddy. Appreciate
Thanks,
you
Michael.
leading us off. Have a good night.
Great.
Not easy to lead off around here, especially on a win.
No. Much better on a win than a loss, that's for sure.
Yeah, this is true. This is true. Let's kick it to Jake Al. Welcome in tonight.
Here we go. Hey, what's up, guys? I'm going to make this short and quick. Amazing game. Forget about what everybody said about last game against, what was it? Who was it against?
Toronto.
Toronto, yes. So, good road trip. Good flight back home to Sac. And, hey, my son wants to say something really quick.
Let the beam.
Yes, light the beam.
You know what?
Thank you.
Forgot to light the beam. There you go. Awesome. It is lit.
All right, guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jake.
Appreciate it. Good. Give us a call. We'd love to be able to chat with you. 111 to 110, the final. The Kings with a tremendous second half. Hey, every possession was huge in this game, and the Kings end up winning by 1 freaking point. Great road trip.
Incredible stuff. Dirk, welcome in. You're on with Grant and Ryno.
Hey, guys. Yeah,
Hey.
We're a very emotional team, man. It drives me crazy. I'm surprised because up to that last second, I was not happy with this game. I mean, I'm happy we came back in the third quarter, but every time we played Miami, they seem to be more prepared to play than we are. And it's unless shots are falling or calls go, we have no momentum. It's like they control it with their energy. Why can't we just bring the intensity there? It felt like if we maintained that level of intensity, that would have been a game we would have won pretty easily in the fourth. But okay, we won. I don't want to be Debbie Downer, but I would love to have that Toronto game back. So hopefully we get it back the next time. So,
well, you have a chance in 48 hours.
I look forward to it. Light the beam.
Thank you, buddy. Appreciate it. Hey, so good to have everybody here. Love your participation, the phone calls, and don't forget about Sunrise Landing, the newest residential community in Calusa. Very easy to get all the information you need. All you need to do is go to CalusaSunrise.com. You can check out their various models. And remember, no Mellorews, no homeowners, and you can check out everything at CalusaSunrise.com. This is a Blazona development project. Again, Sunrise Landing, good location. You'll get all the information that you need. Again, just go to CalusaSunrise.com and check out Sunrise Landing. Kings win 111 to 110 thanks to an offensive rebound and a fadeaway by Domantas Sabonis. And what a huge shot. What a huge shot for the Kings as they now come home a game over 500 and a 3-1 road trip.
We go to Anita. Welcome in tonight, Miss Anita.
Hello. How's everyone doing tonight?
Good, Anita. How are you?
Much happier with that win. I really like the point you made at the beginning of the show, about, that one possession totally changes how we're feeling about the road trip, whether you go 2-2 or 3-1. It's huge. And when you look at the rest of the league and some of the games tonight, you have the Lakers have lost. So, so these are things that are so important.
That's right.
Memphis
in the West. Lost too.
Who did?
Memphis lost to Brooklyn.
So there you go. So, little things like that one game, remember one game made a difference of whether you were 6th or 7th and in the play-in or not at the end of last season. And so, getting these wins like this, but isn't it a luxury to have not only Fox when he plays like we know he can, but then to have DeMar also be able to come in crunch time. I mean, what a luxury. Watching him play every night is so different than when, he was on other teams and you saw him maybe twice a year. I'm just blown away. And I just have such confidence when he has the ball in his hands. It's just wonderful to be able to know that, he has that level of consistency.
He's really good. I mean, he's the real freaking deal. You just hit it right on the head there, Anita. Yeah. Consistency. He is just so consistent. He's as consistent as any player that the Kings have had in a long time.
Agreed.
Yeah, you have to have players. Yeah, go ahead, Ryan.
No, go ahead, Anita.
No, I was just going to say you have to have players like that on your team come playoff time. But you got to get to the playoffs first. But come playoff time, when you're going to be in every game is going to be like the game tonight. And when
he's like Sabonis. He's like Sabonis, Anita. You know what you're going to get every single night. And that's a luxury to have when you're coaching a team, Anita.
No, yeah, exactly. Ryan.
Sorry, I was just going to say, you guys are right, but it's got to evolve. And we saw a little bit of that tonight where DeMar raises up for a 3 in clutch time and passes it down. One of the most difficult passes in basketball, gets it to Sabonis right underneath the hoop for a layup because he's going to keep getting that attention. And I think that's part of the reason we've seen the clunky Kings offense at times. Not enough of that doubling out, seeing that attention and passing out of it, Anita.
Yeah, I think we have to be, I know we can't be real patient because we're in the West, but remember when Luka and Kyrie, that first year wasn't pretty. And, they figured it out. And I just kept saying, they're going to figure this out with all the new pieces that we have this year. And, people say, well, DeMar 3-point shooting. but he hits timely threes. He did it in Chicago, and you go back and watch some of those game-winning threes. He hits timely threes, and that's all we need him to do. So that three that was an and one, oh my goodness, that saved the game right there. That saved the game. Without that shot, I know the
Great
next
point.
possession he turned it over, but he hits timely threes, and I have confidence in him hitting those timely threes. He doesn't need to shoot 5, 6, 7, or 8 a game, just when they need to be shot.
Good point. Thank you, Anita. We really appreciate it. Good hearing from you.
All right, guys, take it easy.
Yeah, Minnesota's going to win tonight. The Knicks and the Rockets are in a very tight game with a couple of minutes left to go in the fourth. The Pacers are on top of Dallas at the break, 63-59. And the Raptors, who come into Sacramento in 2 nights, they are in Denver, and they're up 8 on the Denver Nuggets with 5 minutes left to go in the first half. They've already put 57 on the board with 4:35 left to go in the first half. Do not overlook the Raptors coming up here, because the Kings already know what the Raptors can do because they just lost to them. And what do we always talk about with Sacramento? First game back after an East Coast trip, it's never pretty, but they need to change that. And I think the biggest difference with a DeMar DeRozan, this team won't go into the lulls and the lapses that they had last year. I think he changes that.
Right. It's like that stopgap. You now have a pause button. You know when DVR got created? You didn't have to run during the commercials. It's exactly what you have with DeMar. Also, the Pelicans in a dogfight right now with Portland.
That's right. Hey, I need a idea for a rant with Grant. So give me a couple of ideas, and I will do a rant for you in a couple of moments. Don't forget New Works Plumbing. They've got a fix for you. Ryno's used them. I have had so many friends use New Works Plumbing. I have not had the opportunity to have them come out to my home because, well, they don't go to South Florida just yet. But they will come to your home. SackServicePlumbing.com. Call the number on your screen. I certainly know all the people. I know the owner. I know the employees. I love what they do. And I love the feedback that I've been getting from so many of you. Ryan has had great feedback as well. SackServicePlumbing.com, or call the number on your screen. That's New Works Plumbing. They've got a fix for you.
Yeah, Napes, they're a little bit too good at training. They put me right on their hip, and so now something goes wrong around here. Jen's like, all right, you got it. You got it. They taught you, so they know what they're doing.
You're teachable. I like that. You're teachable.
Yeah, I try.
I know you are. I've watched you progress. All right, here we go. Oh, look, we had a new background.
BJ, what's up, my man?
What is up, guys? Can you hear me okay?
We got
you.
You
Fine.
Yeah, so I had to put the fur coat on for a comeback. So I think I'm gonna start. I'm gonna use this now. Whenever we're down by like 12, 15 points, I gotta throw the ugly fur coat on and see what happens. It's ugly, but it worked. A couple things. It was nice to see. Anita had some great points. The consistency. I was gonna say the consistency to have somebody like DeRozan on the team. It takes a lot of pressure off of Sabonis, and especially off of Fox. I really like to see it. I think as the season progresses, I think it's not gonna be as clunky and as choppy. And I really like the emotion after Sabonis made, which was phenomenal. That follow up, off of 1 foot falling back, seeing the emotion out of DeRozan, how excited he was. That's an excellent sign. I really, really like seeing that. On the negative, what was it? It was like 340. I wrote it down somewhere. It was like, I think it was at the 340 mark in the fourth quarter. The Kings seemed to be kind of, I don't want to say unraveling, but they were just going up and down, shooting quick shots. They got a rebound. They kicked it out to Sabonis. He made a 3. Thank God the Miami coach called the timeout. At that point, up until that point, it just seemed just like they're just going and going. It was like, oh my God, like slow down, calm down, get the ball into DeRozan's hands, and let's see what happens. It didn't seem like it seemed really rushed, and I think it's it's early on, and I think they're still trying to fill it out. But that's what I got. The only negative, and I'll let you guys go. I tried to listen to the announcers, okay, and I love the redheaded stepchild of Sucktown. So it's a high mark to reach. Okay. Now I know that these people are not going to be able to reach that mark in my mind. I get it. But for goodness sakes, can somebody just tell the dude, I don't know who he is, can someone tell him that he doesn't have to, he sounds so corny. He's like perpetuating Sacramento as just a bunch of dummies. It's so awful. Thank God at the last 3 minutes of the game, the video was ahead of the announcing, so I had to turn it lower. I wanted to listen to it. I don't know why I was torturing myself. But finally, I listened to the last 3 minutes. Or did not listen to the last 3 minutes. So I got to find a new app to where it matches with somebody else. But anyways, love you guys. I love
Thank
you,
you.
redheaded stepchild. Suck
Thank
down.
you.
Love you, my man. Love you, Ryno. And what do you guys think? This next game is at home, right, against the
Yes.
Raptors.
Yes.
Yes.
You know, I think it's a good. I'm so glad they're coming home. This could be a good win psychologically. I think it's. I don't want to say it's
We'll see.
needed, but I
Yeah.
think it would help them psychologically big time. So, all right, guys, I'll
Thank
let
you,
you guys
buddy.
go. Love you.
Appreciate it.
Good job, BJ.
The Rockets are going to win their game against the Knicks. So Houston with another win. And I'll tell you, San Antonio, do not forget about them. Just telling you, because the Kings are going to be playing them here coming up in the next week. They are leading the Clippers. You ready for this? At the end of the first quarter, they are leading the Clippers 40-14.
Whoa. Whoa.
Yeah.
Thought that Clippers wall was supposed to stop runs like that.
Yeah, well,
holy crap.
Yeah. Yeah,
That's
how about
incredible.
That? Yeah,
Good
and
for them.
that game is in LA.
Yeah, that's what I said. Their little fan wall that just goes all the way up, you know? That's supposed to be an advantage. The Clippers, another one. You just can't figure out, can Kawhi Leonard get on the court? We'll never know. Zach, what's up? All the way from the TNT studios.
Gotta keep it alive until they leave. But I just want to say I want to give a shout out to the Kings. They pulled it out. The 3-point defense still very bad, but somehow we still won. I didn't think we got a good whistle today. I think it was a little not the greatest refereeing, but they think they had 30 free throws. We had like 15, and we still got the W. We snuck out of it on the road. Got to give props, and I want to give props to Keon Ellis. I always got to give props to him. I think in the middle of the third quarter, I was watching the plus minuses. I know it's not the craziest stat, but just pointing it out, he was a plus 13. Nobody else was positive at all, and he ended the game with plus 22, which is like there's only 3 people positive: Sabonis, Ellis, and Murray. But Keon was plus 22. His defense, I just don't get even Mike even thinking about starting anybody else other than Keon if I guess Herter's out, but. I'd like Keon to start anyway, even if Herter's being allowed to play. But just great win, and I want to just have a little side-ish topic here because I remember you guys talking on the last one. Drew Holiday over De'Aaron Fox. I heavily disagree with you guys on that. Or you guys said you guys would rather have Drew than Fox.
I just think he's a better all-around player, and I have seen Drew Holiday play in the NBA Finals enough to know that he's money and that the teams that he played for don't win championships without him being on the team.
Yeah, that's fair. But I mean, like the teams
he won a championship in Milwaukee and he won one in Boston, and those teams don't win, in my opinion, without him.
He's definitely a huge factor. Huge, he was their second or third. You could call it whatever is on Milwaukee. He was probably the 4th best though on Boston. I just think that his teams are really, really good. I mean, you got the top 2-3 player with Giannis on it. It's just a little unfair to compare. I mean, Fox.
First of all, it's not. It's subjective, and I don't know why we're still talking about this a week later. You're not going to win your argument. I'm not going to win my argument. They're both very good players. I just think Drew Holiday is a better all-around player. I don't know if he's more talented than De'Aaron. I'm not ready to say that, but I think he's a better all-around player. That's all. That's my point. And again, I'm fine with having either or, but that's my opinion.
Yeah, that's fair. But I just want to give the Kings their kudos, and hopefully, I said before the road trip, I wanted them to go well, in the 4 games, the 3-game road trip plus the home game with Toronto. I wanted them to go 3-1, and we can do that so pretty soon here. So great to see.
Zach, thank you, buddy. Appreciate it. You have a good night.
You too. Take care, guys.
Again, I'm fine with either or. They're both very good players. But when I look at Drew Holiday and what he's done in the postseason, I can't ignore that. I can't ignore that. And I know he's been on good teams, but he's part of the reason why he was on a good team.
He's part of the reason that those stars that you see are stars to a degree, because he commands attention. He's a completely different player than De'Aaron. So if we're going down checklists and trying to cross match, it's not going to work.
Yeah, you know what? You said that absolutely perfectly. You're exactly right. Speaking of perfect, that's Bennett's, Sacramento, Roseville, and the West Side Grill in Rockland. Go to bennettsrestaurants.com to make a reservation and more. Prime seafood and steak. Don't forget about their happy hours daily, 2 to 6, their sips and taste. It is a great place. Again, go to bennettsrestaurants.com, prime seafood and steak. You'll love it. That's bennettsrestaurants.com to make a reservation and more.
I could use some, you know what? I could use some Bennett's right now. And you know what the Miami fans are getting right now, Grant? A big dose of Dwayne Wade waving goodbye to him for that loss.
Hey, I just want to add something. I want to add something about Jose. It's not close, Grant. Fox is a much better player. Then you haven't watched Drew Holiday ever play. You don't even know you don't even know who Drew Holiday is. Okay. If you think he's much better, that tells me you don't know anything about basketball. If you think Fox is better, I'm okay with that. But he's not much better. You're delusional.
That is Drew with a J, buddy. Drew.
Thank you.
Yes,
Yeah. So when you want to look it up to see who he is, now you know.
Hey, Rich, all the way from San Diego.
How are you?
Hey, I'm good, guys. How are you? Can you hear me?
Good, thank you.
Can you hear me?
Yep, yeah. Hear you loud and clear.
Good, good. Yeah, you see my shirt I'm wearing tonight?
Light the beam.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
You know, my wife just found that 2 days ago. It was like, I'm like, where did my King shirts go? And I'm like, what the heck? It's a new season. Where's all my shirts at? Anyway, she found it the last moment, like just yesterday. So I put it on today. I wore it all day, and I visualized a nice win for us tonight, and it worked.
Good. Very nice.
Good job.
Happy to hear that. That's good. We did the good luck by you, Rich. The good job right there, buddy. Good job by you.
I'm going to share a story with you real quick.
Okay.
I went into UCSD today. I'm actually I'm doing radiation every day. I've been fighting prostate cancer.
Oh my God.
Wow.
Yeah, for the last so I've been it was my 5th treatment today, and 5 is my lucky number. And I went in there, and this guy, the radiologist, he goes, "What is this light the beam?" And I said, "Well, you guys are lighting up the beam, and I'm going to be lighting up the beam tonight because I'm a Kings fan." And then after the treatment, I showed him this thing, and he goes, "Man, I really appreciate you sharing that with me. That was awesome." And lo and behold, I've had this shirt on all day, and we did it tonight.
Well, I wish you the very best in your prostate cancer treatment, and I hope they caught it early enough. I know that it's very highly successful because a lot of men deal with this, but I'll be praying for you, my friend. I wish you the best.
Thank you, Grant. I really appreciate it. And my theme song is "Beat It," man. We're gonna beat it. So anyway.
Yes, you are.
Good to see you both.
Rich, you take care. Hang in there, buddy, and keep the fight. And we look forward to chatting with you again. Okay.
Okay.
We will see you soon, buddy.
Awesome. Thank you. Bye.
All right.
Well, I'll tell you, that's great to hear. He's one of my favorite guys. Down in SoCal, has a lot of history in Sacramento. Huge Kings fan. I love talking to him about all of his travels that he goes on with his wife, and I'm sure all of us here on our little fraternity wish him the very best as he goes through this.
Absolutely. Looking at the chat right now, a lot of love for Rich, and like you said, his travels. He's always somewhere, and so praying for him and his family. Like you said, hopefully they caught it early, and he looks in good spirits, and now he gets to go show highlights of tonight to the radiologist.
We love that,
That
absolutely.
is a good thing. Yes,
absolutely. So now the Kings are 4-3, and after this next 2 games, and I'm not knocking the opponent.
Yeah.
The schedule gets really challenging for a while. So it's very important to add on to this road trip, get these next 2 wins because you have a brutal schedule coming up for a while after that.
Yeah, and in some ways you could flip it, Grant, and say the less challenging opponents have been the brutal part of the Kings' schedule over the last year and a half. And I would think this gives them some confidence. They found a few things on the road, definitely some things to tweak, but look at how they played against 2 very good teams in the Western Conference early in the season, minus a bad quarter here and there. So I'm confident this is going to have to be, they took care of business. This is going to have to be where they kind of show who they are early on in this season. That 20 game sample size, as you said, it's the meat of the games coming up. Big games.
Well, we're very happy that you're with us. If you want to give us a call, do so, and we will put you right on.
Love to hear from you, Andrew. Much love and prayers, Rich. Absolutely. Grant, what did you think about the second? Did you see anything from the third quarter that you think is sustainable for this team?
Well, you're not going to outscore a team by 20 every quarter. I love the ball movement. I think more than anything else, I love the shot selection.
Yeah.
They were down 13, and I think it was a 12-2 run that Miami used to get into the locker room. And the adjustments they made, but just the attention to detail. I think the attention to detail is what stuck out to me in that third quarter. I mean, they played a very high IQ quarter of basketball. That's the way I would look at that.
Yeah, it's a great way to put it. The ball movement, everybody was there. The flow, the rhythm was right. The communication was there. And, it's just, you see the best of this team sometimes, and you think, what can it be if they bottle that up? But the bench, that's still an issue. Mike Brown goes to the bench for 2 minutes at the end of the third and the start of the fourth, and all of a sudden Miami's starting to make a run again.
Well, again, a very, very successful road trip, a very good road trip to go 3-1. There were no negatives with that road trip. I know you lost to Toronto, but Toronto may be better than we're giving them credit for, just based on how competitive they've been without their best player. And we know that right now they have a lead at Denver. But even without that, you're going to have losses on the road to inferior teams. It's part of the NBA. It's part of the schedule. And the Kings had a tough back-to-back. I mean, it's part of the deal. But the way they rebounded tonight with a clutch win, fine, no problem. 3-1. If I had told you the Kings were going to go 3-1 on this trip before they left, you would have said, fine, don't even go. Just stay home.
Stay home. Sign me up. Yeah,
Yep.
No, absolutely. And I expect the Kings to bring it, regardless of being the first game back against the Raptors. The pressure. I think that Davion Mitchell and De'Aaron Fox, they enjoyed that little scuffle back and forth that they had in Toronto. And I expect the Kings, if they just notch that pressure up a little bit on them, it's going to make it a lot harder for them coming in.
A couple of scheduling notes. I'm going to be doing a show tomorrow at 4 in the afternoon. So circle that tomorrow, 4 in the afternoon. And then on Wednesday, Sean Salisbury at 3 o'clock. Then Ryan joins me and Jerry Reynolds at 4 o'clock. All right. So we got to, and Ryan, you can promote what you're doing during the week, but I'm going to be on tomorrow at 4 o'clock. And then Wednesday, 3 o'clock with Sean Salisbury, and then 4 o'clock with Ryno and Jerry.
Looking forward to it. Kings Court tomorrow, 2 p.m. No Jerry Reynolds Tuesday, but we will recap the road trip. We'll talk about the highs, the lows, and what's next with the stretch of basketball that is coming up.
All right. Again, so happy to have you. And we will do a rant with Grant, brought to you by EDH Motors, Automotive Reimagined. You can get all the information by just going to their website, edhmotors.com. David and Adam, they have a combined 40 years of franchise dealership experience. EDH Motors is your single source for all things automotive, and they do aim to exceed your expectations and redefine your automotive experience. They're located right in the heart of the El Dorado Hills Town Center, and they do things, I think, a new concept differently when it comes to your automotive needs. That's why it's Automotive Reimagined. EDH Motors, they're awesome. Again, go to edhmotors.com. That's edhmotors.com, and you'll get all the information you need. All right. So we love to have opinions, when we do sports, right? Radio host or podcast host or any type of medium that don't have opinions don't last very long, or you might see them on late at night or listen to them late at night or in the mornings, then they're in the afternoons, then they're backing up this show, then because they're vanilla, all right? I'm not vanilla, and my opinions are only my opinions, and I may be wrong. So I made a comment that I think Drew Holiday is a better all-around player than De'Aaron Fox, and a lot of people think I'm crazy. All right? I'm fine with De'Aaron Fox. I like De'Aaron Fox, but I've watched Drew Holiday play his entire career, and Drew Holiday, wherever he goes, makes the team better. Did you watch the NBA playoffs last year with Drew Holiday? He could have been the best player on the floor for the Boston Celtics en route to the championship. Did you watch Holiday play when the Milwaukee Bucks won the championship, or did you decide not to watch the playoffs that year? Drew Holiday is a hell of a player. All right. He's a different player than Fox. But if you're asking me, if I'm building a basketball team and I had a choice of taking Holiday's career or to this point, Fox's career, I'm sorry, I'm taking Drew Holiday's career because I think he is as good as any two-way player in basketball. Let me repeat myself. I think he is as good as any two-way player in basketball. I love his defense. Drew Holiday is a tremendous defensive player. And oh yeah, he's a really good offensive player. Is he flashy like Fox? No. Is he as fast as Fox? No. But I'm sorry. I'm looking at De'Aaron Fox, who's played in one playoff series. And I'm looking at what Drew Holiday has done in his playoff career. I'm sorry. I'm taking Drew Holiday. Nothing against Fox, who I like and like a lot, but I'm taking Holiday. If you disagree, that's fine. But if you're going to say that I'm wrong because Fox is a much better player, you don't know what the hell you're talking about. If you think Fox is a better player, I'm fine. You might even convince me of that, although it's going to take really some arm twisting. But much better? You don't know what the hell you're talking about. And that's my rant for today.
Well done. Well done. Those are always such tricky conversations. They're fun, but they're tricky. Who's the greatest of all time? Who's better here? Especially when you go across time.
Tomorrow, Ryan's got his show. I'm going to be on a 4 doubleheader on Wednesday. Keep that beam lit. Keep it lit. The Kings are on the way to the airport right now. They will be taking the cross-country flight. We know what happens first game back from an East Coast trip.
They're staying in Miami tonight. They're taking the flight tomorrow.
I didn't see that.
Yes. Yep. Second time this trip.
Well, I knew they were spending the night in Toronto, but that surprises me.
Yeah. Yeah, they're spending the night in Miami tonight. Maybe it's the 8:15 start.
I don't like that.
Why is that?
Miami is a city that doesn't sleep. I know. And I would much rather have the guys get on the plane, fly back home. Now, all of a sudden, you are going to be out all night. Some guys. You have to leave probably, I'm guessing now, 11 a.m. to go to the airport, fly one day to adjust to the time. I'm not crazy about that. But I would also say this in all defense to Mike Brown in this decision. It hasn't worked in the past, flying home after the game. So try something different. So for that reason alone, I'm okay with it.
All right. Yeah, that's a good point. You know, they've been on the East Coast. You have a little bit, not much time to adjust. You had the time change that just happened. I think this is probably looking at sleep patterns, the late night, what's best for these guys, because Grant, you don't have a couple of days off, right? You're going one night off and then you're back at it in Sacramento. So how can you get them the most rest? Maybe this is that way, but like you said, some guys may
may go out. I mean, it's Miami, all right? Again, I'm not saying they're going to be out partying and drinking. But I'm just saying it's Miami and they're young. And in Miami, I'm sorry. I'm in my 60s and I go out a lot when I'm in Miami. All right. I'm not, okay.
What is going out in Taylor?
It depends who I'm with. Miami. And My favorite place
Okay.
to go is Smith and Walensky's at South Point. It's phenomenal. It's indoor and outdoors, and I love sitting outdoors because all the cruise ships come by generally between 4 and 7 o'clock, and you could hit them with a rock. They're so close you can talk to people on the ship, and I really mean that. You can actually talk to people as they're coming by. That's how close you are. It's a phenomenal place to be. I love it. It's probably my favorite place to go on Saturday and Sundays, to go out there late afternoon and watch all the cruise ships come by. It's the most, to see those ships up close and how big they are. Like it's unbelievable. It really is.
Napes, I get it. That was one of my favorite things about Catalina. Going to Catalina Island and seeing ships come in. Now they're not as big as some of these ones that are coming in and leaving Miami, but those are much different. I mean, they're floating cities. That's what they are. They are floating, functioning cities on the sea.
We got in trouble once when we were there about 7 or 8 years ago. Me and the TV crew, we rented a boat for the day, and it was 84 degrees, and it was freaking. And listen, I'm not going to lie, we were drinking, but we had a guy who was a designated driver. All right, and he did not drink; he was just a driver. We started at 9 in the morning. All right, and we were out from 9 in the morning until 6 o'clock. Well, there's a Norwegian Escape, which is a really big ship, is leaving. And we thought it would be cool to drive right next to the ship in the canal as it was leaving.
Ooh.
And it was the coolest thing. But then all of a sudden we've got the Coast Guard coming after us with the literal, I'm not exaggerating, they have machine guns like the Rat Patrol on top of the Jeep. When I was growing up, we used to, and we're like, oh, we can't be that close. Now what they have in the intersections of that canal, they have Coast Guard police with their lights on so that the traffic has to stop. But when the boat goes past that, if you're going out to the ocean or coming in, there's no problem. But anyway, so we that was very cool, but we got in trouble. But we didn't get a ticket or anything, but we got scolded, you know.
You got scolded. You got shook down a little bit.
All right. So tomorrow, 4 o'clock, Ryno's got his show. Kings win. Light the beam. Keep it lit. We'll talk to you soon. Ryno, thanks, buddy. Appreciate it.
Appreciate you. Thank you. And
have
light
a good
the beam,
one,
baby.
folks. We'll talk to you soon. Right here on If You Don't Like That. Oh, boy.